Hey Taurus, I'm Eleanor and welcome to Peaches by Starlight Tarot. This is your weekly pick a card reading where we're exploring your monthly energy of the King of Cups, which is emotional sovereignty and feeling your emotions deeply and still showing up because you're in control of your reactions. And your weekly energy is compassion can heal not only inner anger but the world's violence. So this is all about how your gift to the world at this time is the work that you do on yourself. This came out in your annual, this came out in your monthly. They're linked below if you want to see where I shuffle on camera and where those come out. Subscribe if you would like to keep up with my monthly readings. Share anything if you feel like it would help a friend. And I have personal readings and those are linked below if this is too broad. Those go way more in depth. They're in email and they can get very lengthy and dive more in. So I'm using the Klimt Tarot and Buddha Wisdom Shakti Power. I have stack 1, 2, 3. They're timestamped below. You can choose one or as many as you like. Let's get going. All right, Taurus, stack 1. You have the Tower, 5 of Swords in reverse, and Princess Mandarava. Sometimes love changes the course of a life. So with the 5 of Swords in reverse, it's telling me that you are no longer compromising yourself, no longer trying to fit into some kind of conventional mold or some kind of playing a role in order to stay safe within a structure. And so there's been a sense to where doing so has resulted in hollow victories, and now you're being called forth to stop that compromising of yourself, that ceasing to be slightly less than authentic, so you can gain these small minor victories, and that to step into your integrity is going to be where those true victories lie. And in doing so, where that ties in with this, where I know that all came out kind of fast, but here's where it kind of ties up with your weekly theme, is that in doing so, in moving towards those more authentic victories and moving away from the hollow ones through decisions to no longer compromise yourself and to advocate for yourself, that you're cleansing yourself of the resentment that can build up when you do that. When you're living a life that way over a period of time, it can build up resentment, and that can result in discharges of anger, that can result in passive aggressiveness, it can create outward displays of toxicity, because resentment, it's like this energy that it has to go somewhere or it's going to eat you alive, and so it leaks out in weird places. Even if you try really hard not to, it still does, and the people around you can feel that. And so in cleansing this resentment, you are going to be clearing your field and clearing up your behavior. And that's why this talks about the healing of yourself being the gift to the world, because it can, not feel inner anger, but the world's violence. And so that's, you then are no longer an origin point or a source of that energy that's coming into the world. It's still going to be coming into the world by other people, but not by you, because you are taking control of this particular source of resentment in your life. All right, stack 2, Death in reverse, Judgment in reverse, and Skull Cup. Giving creates a flow of health and love. So in the guidebook for the Skull Cup, it's talking about a call towards like a dedicated practice towards enlightenment and transcendence of conditioning and social patterning. And I want to talk about, I have a lot of thoughts on this, and I'm not sure they're all going to come together logically, but I'll try to touch on everything I want to. The King of Cups is accountable for his actions and reactions and doesn't wait for divine intervention. There's a sense of waiting for divine intervention to take care of something for you. And So I'm getting that you've been hearing messages, hearing the call, and trying to tune it out because of fear of the unknown and attachment to known and familiar thought forms. That, for example, there's certain things that suck about like in our job, there's just stuff that sucks about it, and you shower it off at the end of the day. There's annoyances, and there's negative people, and there's confrontations, and there's all these things that are a pain in the butt, but you wash them off at the end of the day. That thing that you can't seem to wash off, that stays with you, is the universe communicating to you through your intuition that something is off, that something is wrong, and that you are not meant to wash it away. You are meant to act and to do something about it because it isn't right. And not everyone has the strength and the courage to do that. And so what people have a tendency to do is to find ways to mask it, to turn it off. Instead of checking the engine, you just turn off the check engine light. And so the King of Cups is the person, that energy, when you embody that energy, you're listening, you're going, oh, that's an alarm, I need to see what that's about and do something about it. And you don't just go, I need to make this feeling go away. You're like, what am I going to do about it? And so by ignoring it, I'm not feeling that there's a big warning here that there's going to be catastrophe, but that you're missing out in some way. That whatever it is that you're not facing at this time is going to, there's the potential to miss out on something extraordinary. That it will be more of the same, and it's going to always be there, and you're going to always need to try to ignore it. And if you would just face up to it, find out what the problem is, and root it out, that there's something extraordinary trying to come in for you at that time. All right, stack 3. 7 of Swords reversed. 8 of Swords reversed. And the 8 manifestation of Padmasambhava. A great teacher is a treasure. Seek to find one. So this is talking about all the faces that, okay. Think about all the different faces that you wear for different people, different situations, and different circumstances, and all the roles that you have to play. Like the person that you show up as at work as a subordinate versus the person you show up as a parent at home, and you have to be in charge. You have to, being student and teacher and back and forth, and being the subordinate and being the person in charge, and being whoever we have to be in a certain role, in a certain dynamic throughout the day. And so the source as teacher does the same thing in our lives with different people. The different encounters each carry with it a different lesson and something to learn, and something that is meant to be a mirror and hold up a mirror into ourselves. And that when you can thoroughly learn yourself and understand yourself completely, then you can understand anyone, and that you can see through people. And that starts with being able to first see people as your teacher. Then you learn about yourself, and then you can return that knowledge back into your interactions with others. And then in that way, you also become the teacher as well. So not only is the divine using these people and situations as teachers, he is source manifests. I mean, I think that might be biblical, and I'm not Christian, but I'm pretty sure that there's that teaching that God will manifest as lowly people to see how he is treated or something like that. And that's kind of like what this is about. Okay, so I'll talk to you in a week, Taurus. Thank you.